Our presentation today is about Campylobacter.
Campylobacter is a rod-shaped, gram-negative, microaerophilic bacterium that has a single polar flagellum. Its optimum growth temperature is 37 to 42 degrees Celsius.
Campylobacter infection, known as campylobacteriosis, affects more than 0.8 million people every year. It is one of the most common causes of diarrheal illness in the United States. A source of contamination of meat and poultry products include animal intestines. Animal intestines can rupture during processing, infecting other parts of the meat that will be ingested. People often get infected when they cross-contaminate kitchen items such as cutting boards or from handling raw or undercooked poultry. Fortunately, it is not easily spread from person to person. Symptoms of campylobacteriosis include bloody diarrhea, fever, abdominal cramps, vomiting, and nausea. Campylobacter can also occasionally spread to the bloodstream and cause a life-threatening infection. Symptoms typically start within 2 to 5 days after exposure and last about a week.
Here you can see a chart displaying the food sources of Campylobacter outbreaks in the U.S. from 2010 to 2015. A majority of the outbreaks occur in dairy with raw milk, although the majority of cases are sporadic and common source outbreaks are uncommon. Here is the breakdown of a 2016 outbreak of fluoroquinolone-resistant Campylobacter. The outbreak occurred in Colorado from raw or unpasteurized milk consumption. While the sale of raw milk is illegal in Colorado and many other states, including North Carolina, the infected persons were purchasing their milk from a herd share, which is not regulated by state or federal governments. 12 cases were confirmed in this outbreak, resulting in 1 hospitalization.
To treat campylobacteriosis, the infected person should continue drinking lots of fluids until the symptoms reside. Antibiotics are usually only used for people who are very ill or part of high-risk populations, such as children or the elderly. Prevention includes pasteurization of milk, prevention of cross-contamination, and disinfection of water.
We can't see Campylobacter, so we've covered this chicken with a tracer that glows under UV light to illustrate just how easy it is to spread the bug around your kitchen. After a few minutes of quartering the bird under lab conditions, we dimmed the lights to take a look.
Okay, so we turn on the UV light and we look at the carcass itself. It's heavily contaminated, but then we look at the chopping board and it's sort of contaminated, and you've managed to contaminate the knife very well on the handle. So if you look at your hands, and your hands are covered in the tracer. And then did you touch your face? Oh, there's a small stain there. But you can see you've also splashed Campylobacter, or the tracer, onto the chickens that were clean over here.
This explains why we're now told not to wash chicken to avoid splashing bugs around. And as we all know, thorough cooking and washing hands eliminates the risk of food poisoning.
This concludes our presentation. To keep yourself safe from Campylobacter, avoid consuming raw milk and be careful to prevent cross-contamination when preparing meat and poultry. Also, be sure to cook your foods to the USDA recommended temperatures. Any questions?